7 matches played, 20 goals scored, and £144 million spent. Yeah, quite a lot's happened since you were last here. Welcome back to Newcastle. How's it going, folks? And welcome back. This is episode 30 of the Newcastle Let's Play. Today we have the end of January. We have Man City away from home in the Premier League and deadline day. Whether or not anything happens in deadline day is a little up for debate and a little bit of a question mark at the moment because, as I've already alluded to, we've done some transfer business. Now, naturally, to have spent £144 million since you were last here, some players have had to have moved on. So let's talk about those. The first, Thiago Almada, has left to go to Bayern. We sold him for £66 million. Did I sell him for too little? Could I have got more? I'm not sure, really. I feel like during his time at the club, he really didn't develop after we signed him. And last year, he was good. This year, he was fine. He never really was super standout, never felt irreplaceable. So when Bayern came a-knocking for £66 million, I decided to let him go. Another player who we've let leave the club is Gabriel Barbosa. This one maybe will come as a shock. £45 million received for him. He played 5 games this year. He got 2 goals. He hadn't really done a great deal. And when they came a-knocking Real Madrid, it was a bit difficult to say no. So we've let him go. He has fled the nest at 28 years old. He was a useful player for a few years, but 45 million's a lot of money. And the last of the players we've moved on, perhaps one of the biggest shocks of them all, Jonathan Villagra. Yes, remember this guy, young Argentine player just breaking into the first team. I have decided to sell him, and we've sold him for £24 million. We have just about doubled our money. Worth noting, there is a 40% sell-on clause. Ultimately, he was a good player. There was question marks over his potential. He hadn't really developed during his year at the club. And at 19 years old, I just felt like it was the right time to sell him whilst he was hot. So with those departures, we sold close to £130 million worth of players. How did I spend all that money? Well, my friends, I went out and smashed the club record transfer. Yusuf Demir, 21 years old, Austrian international, signed for his release clause from Barcelona. He's bloody incredible. 21 years old, model citizen personality, crazy physicals, great technique, great mentals, can play out on the wing if we need him to, but for us, he is going to be the ultimate backup player down the spine of this team. Can almost certainly play as a striker, and in fact, today he's going to make his debut playing striker, but at centre attacking mid, as an advanced playmaker on attack, he can shine. He can also play centre mid, which is useful from a squad perspective. Really, we've let Almada and Barbosa go, and then we've kind of replaced both of them with a singular player, which I think we can afford to pull off. And we have also, with those departures, recalled Ransford Yeboah from his loan spell. And also, exciting times really, Al Anezi. Remember this guy, the Saudi youngster? I've decided he might be ready to come and chill in the first team. He played for us in the Carabao Cup. He got a goal and an assist on his debut for the club. So, yeah, I think he's going to be a useful squad player. And, well, with those additions recalled from loan and a new kid on the block in Demir, I think we look better. Now, whether or not I've lost the plot choosing to sign this man, I'll let you guys be the judge. At the end of the day, it's £144 million. It's quite a lot of money. I expect a big return from him, but I look at him and I just think he looks bloody brilliant. As I mentioned, today he has to play for us because Calvert-Lewin is injured. So, yeah, it is going to be a little bit of a baptism of fire for him today. But before we hop into the game against Man City, we have to talk about the games since you were last here. Of course, last time out, we rescued a late draw against Liverpool. And following on from that, we rescued a late draw against Arsenal, courtesy of a Ben White own goal. Now, of course, we've got this unbeaten run that we want to maintain. So when Arsenal took the lead in this game early in the first half, I thought, we'll respond, it'll be fine. We didn't respond until the 93rd minute. And, well, we didn't really respond. Ben White responded for us. He put it into his own net. It was the last bit of action of the half and of the game as well, because it was the second half. And at the end of the day, the unbeaten run is maintained in the least convincing of circumstances. Off the back of that, though, 6 wins across a plethora of competitions. We beat Fulham 3-0. Barbosa got his sending gift, his parting present for the fans. It was from the penalty spot. Sesko grabbed 2. Against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup semi-final, we won the first leg 2-1. A last-minute goal in the first and second half were our goals there. We then beat Derby County 2-1 in the FA Cup. Ali MB and Sesko, part of a very rotated team that secured our progression into the next round. We then had Chelsea in the second leg of the Carabao Cup final, and we absolutely demolished them. We looked absolutely quality in this game. Calvert-Lewin grabbed a couple. Adeyemi played well. Alanezi started this game, got that goal and assist that we talked about. And it was just a great little team performance. In fact, the only man who didn't turn up was former Chelsea man Tomori. And well, to set the tone going into the final game of January, we beat West Brom 2-0, Havertz and Bellingham with the goals, and then most recently against Brighton, a 5-1 win, Adeyemi with a hat-trick, Calvert-Lewin with 2, but unfortunately Calvert-Lewin not long after injured and not available for us now. So just having a little peek at the league table, we currently sit 9 points ahead of Liverpool and 6 points ahead of Manchester United. Of course, we have got a game in hand on Manchester United. We still look very good. We're still unbeaten. Only 12 goals conceded in 23. I will say now, having navigated Liverpool away and also Arsenal away, I'm hoping that we can navigate this game against Man City away in a slightly more convincing fashion. I'm sick of these 1-1 draws, to be honest. When it comes to the team that is hopefully going to make things happen for us today, this is the lineup. Yusuf Demir is going to come in and play as a pressing forward. There is, to be honest, a temptation to swap him with Adeyemi. Would that be a wise decision? I think that might be a wise decision. I think Adeyemi is a little bit better when it comes to his work rates and his stamina compared to Demir. So, yeah, we'll swap those around. Elsewhere in the team, though, it's going to be Havertz, Bellingham and Rice making up a midfield trio. It's worth noting that with Yusuf Demir's kind of appearance in the team, gives us options when it comes to everyone being available. There's the chance that we play him at centre attacking mid, maybe move Havertz back to box midfielder, and Bellingham gets swapped in for Rice. But to be honest, we've got a whole host of configurations we can suddenly play. I feel like for the last couple of years, we've kind of had one first team player for every position. And whilst that's perhaps the norm, when we're in a position like this where we can add a player like Yusuf Demir, who can play a whole host of positions, it suddenly opens up all these opportunities to rotate the team and really mix and match game to game, which I think we're going to look forward to. Elsewhere in the team, at the wing-back positions, it's going to be Davies and Livramento, full strength there. At the defence, though, Tomori is unavailable today. Fofana is going to slot in and play at the centre of our defence. And off to his right, Ben Godfrey comes in to play the wide centre-back role, a role that I feel like he just slots in and fills in quite consistently. He's going to have to do it again for us today. And I feel like it goes without saying after the match against Sunderland yesterday, which if you missed, you should go watch it because it was against Sunderland. Livakovic is not in goal today. Ramsdale is in goal. I feel like at this point, Ramsdale is the outright number one. Let's be honest, Livakovic was pretty shocking against Sunderland, and I can't afford a goalkeeping howler today. As I already mentioned, we are going to just see if anything happens on deadline day. We don't have a load of money to spend, but you never know what's going to appear in your kind of email inbox on deadline day when it comes to transfers. Ramsdale, by the way, making a really good stop there. So who knows? Maybe there'll be some late drama. Hopefully we can just get a nice convincing win to kick off today's episode. Ramsdale clutching onto the ball. And he's going to lump it forward to Adeyemi, who takes it down superbly, gives it to Bellingham. Havertz is there. Demir's in the middle. Can he score on his debut? You bet your bottom dollar he can. He's been at the club, I think, 2 days. He arrived on the plane. He's barely trained with the boys. Kai Havertz turns provider. And Yusuf Demir, the £144 million man, definitely not going to hold that price tag over his head with everything that he does. Scores on his stronger left foot, puts it into the bottom corner. Not a bad way to announce yourself to the Geordie faithful. We are going to be called into some defensive action here, though. Saka, of course, signed for Man City at the start of the year for, I think, £120 million. Some pretty expensive players on display today. Foden, who, of course, we did look at trying to, build something from deep here for Manchester City. Gives it to De Bruyne, gives it back to Foden. They've got their own little game going on. Can we have a touch of the ball, please? Saka doesn't seem too keen to give it to us now with Raheem Sterling, who's going to float it to the far post, and it's Bernardo Silva with goal number 7 of the year. And, we weren't ahead for long, were we? Man City, pretty patient with their build-up play here. I usually back us to deal with crosses into the box. I feel like that is something that as a team we're reasonably good at. I feel like Ramsdale's done his best Matrix impression there as he's kind of leant back to dodge the ball. Someone should let him know that he's meant to try and stop it. We started this game well. I do feel like it started to get away from us a little bit. Man City have grown into it. I've shouted to Man more. If we can make it in at the break at 1-1, I feel like that would be a bit of a relief. And well, we are going to manage just that. So you can see in the second half of the first half, we only actually managed 3 shots on goal. And the XG kind of contribution of them was measly to say the best. So I think it's time to get a bit shouty. It's time to tell the players that they can make the difference. I was going to be more critical of them, but actually I feel like I'm quite a motivating manager. I'm not just going to tell them, you're bad. I'm going to just tell them, I believe you've got more. And well, hopefully we are going to have more as we get into the second half, and already we're almost 15 minutes into it. I'm going to make some changes. I don't like what I've seen. Fofana's on a booking. He's not having a good game. I'm going to take him off and bring in Johansson. Just because I quite like Johansson. Does anyone ever have this feeling? You like get your first good regen into your team, your first like not real player, and you just become quite fond of them and want to give them an unjustifiably large amount of matches. That is me with this man. Elsewhere in the team, Kai Havertz hasn't played great, neither has Adeyemi, to be honest. I'm going to take off Adeyemi, and there's part of me that wants to bring in Ransford Yeboah. I'm not. I'm going to bring in Sesko. I think Sesko's been a really, really reliable player for us this year. We are going to have this set piece to deal with from Bernardo Silva, though. He's already got 1 goal. Can Ramsdale make a save? I mean, not with a free kick like that, he can't. What an insane effort by Bernardo Silva. And, well, my tactical changes didn't change a lot about the outcome of that. It's not like they could really impact the game. That is a mad free kick. I thought that with a free kick that centrally, he wasn't going to be able to score from there, but he's proved me wrong. He smashed it into the top corner. Now we need to show a bit of fight as Bellingham's going to float it in towards Sesko. It's cleared away, but only as far as Declan Rice. Bellingham back with the ball, plays it in. Yusuf Demir scores. There might be questions of offside here. I think he's on. I think that we are fine. I think he has just got his second goal on his debut. He is on for a hat-trick if this isn't offside, and it isn't going to be offside. Of course, we're usually pretty good from our corners. On this occasion, Haaland managed to clear it away. Bellingham had it, whipped it back post. The curve on that pass was superb, and Demir's finish was composed, to say the very least. It wasn't a difficult chance for him to score, but I don't know. I've seen players miss them. And well, from that, we're straight into another highlight here. Well, it's only been just under 10 minutes since we made our changes. I'm hoping the game is swinging back in our favour. As now Yusuf Demir is going to show us his dribbling capabilities. Gives it to Sesko, who's going to run wide. Players queuing up in the middle. Ken Davies whipping a ball of quality. Gives it to Havertz, takes it down, back to goal, Livramento, skips past his man. Can he float it in? He can. Bellingham's there, and Jude Bellingham comes from absolutely nowhere, just like he did against Liverpool last time out, and arrives into the box for a header into the top corner. Really, really nice goal here. Man City doing a good job of dealing with the initial cross, and to be fair, they defended quite well in this game. But on this occasion, our persistence has paid off. That header is into the top corner perfectly, and we take the lead in this match. Goal kick from Edison here. He's going to get the ball forward. Haaland nods it down to Foden. I feel like Haaland's been quite quiet in this game so far. I don't want to jinx it. Not noticed him just yet. And well, the ball was lumped clear and dealt with well by Johansson. Demir's going to close down Laporte, who dribbles it round his goalkeeper. That looked bizarre in the match engine. It's now with Ferran Torres bringing it forward. Godfrey reads it well. Has Haaland in his back pocket at the moment. Having a great time. Now it's with Davis. What can he do? Moving down the left-hand side. Options in the middle. Floats in. Havertz is there for the header. Hits the crossbar. Wagnerman is going to clear it away. But we've looked good here. We have looked really good here. We now have a corner whipped in. Johansson on off the bench. It's the Great Dane. He makes it 4-2 here. And I mean, with his 17 or 18 jumping reach, he's got the potential to be a bit of a weapon. And, well, he's shown his potential there. Jude Bellingham with the assist. A ball of quality in. A header across goal. An air of deja vu about that. It was very similar to the header for Bellingham's goal. And with that, we double our lead. We make it 4-2. Traditionally, we're a team that are very good defensively. We have not been a good defensive unit today. Might even get another chance here. It's whipped in towards Sesko, who's going to head it in this time. And, well, that is going to be game, set and match. Every time we meet Man City, there's a load of goals. And it wasn't that long ago I was praising them. I was saying they were doing quite well at dealing with our balls into the box and our set pieces. On this occasion, they've not dealt with it. And Man City, they're kind of crumbling now. We're straight into a kickoff highlight. I've said game over here. If they get one back, Would I have to start worrying with, 6 minutes left plus added time? Would there be the potential for them to come back in this? Maybe. Bargman's going to play it down to Ferran Torres. He's going to try and pick out João Felix, although on that occasion it's dealt with by Johansson. Haaland, though, springs the offside trap, gets in behind, lays it to Grealish. It is blocked by Ben Godfrey, and it just floats miraculously into Ramsdale's hands. Yusuf Demir still on for the hat-trick. I think he's going to have to come to terms with the fact he's not going to get it. But 2 goals, not a bad way to mark your arrival to this team. Sesko got a goal on off the bench. Bellingham ran the show. Johansson got a goal too. Bellingham with a 9.7. And after, a rather tame first half, a flurry of goals in the second half, we took the opportunities that came our way, and I think we can be pretty happy with that. I said I didn't want another 1-1 result. I can tell you now, we have avoided that. Elsewhere, unfortunately for us, Liverpool did manage to win, but Arsenal have just hammered Chelsea, who are in 4th. So I guess our top 3 finish is looking more and more assured at the moment, with 14 games left of the season. Okay, gang, we are back. The camera's back as well. It keeps freezing my camera that I use. I don't know why this happens. I've tried so many solutions. Every so often it seems to happen. Maybe, just maybe, it couldn't contain this man. Yusuf Demir, 2 goals on his debut. We absolutely love him. Bellingham, 3 assists, a goal, a 9.7 rating. I'm not quite sure how he's not got a 10 there, to be completely honest with you. He probably deserves that. But yeah, really, really good result for us. That helps us, look slightly more pretty at the top of the table. As I already alluded to, we have got deadline day coming up. So we are going to go forward to deadline day and see if anything happens. This might end up being the most pointless 5 to 10 minutes at the end of an episode. We might end up doing something bonkers. There's some wage budget. There's no transfer budget. Let's just go and see if the madness unfolds. Okay, so apparently there's a rumour that we are going to loan Mason Greenwood and that Calvert-Lewin could be sold for £102 million. That feels very unlikely for me, but we're going to click the take part button. We're going to get the beautiful yellow UI going. Elsewhere, Makoko is being linked with Manchester United for £82 million. Giovanni Reina being linked with Man City. There's lots of these big transfers being rumoured. Does anyone even have this money to spend right now? So, we are getting some offers here, but it's for, youth players that I have absolutely no interest in selling. So, I'm just going to reject them all, really. No, not available. Shanley is not incredible. Probably isn't going to be anything special. Just don't really have any plans on selling Bobby. He's an essential part of the under-18s, even though he's 19. Just realised, probably could just click the reject all transfer offers button. That probably makes a lot of sense. Elsewhere, MB being offered a loan. No, Bright MB is actually a useful player for me. As a squad player who's homegrown at club, no chance I'm going to be selling him. He's pretty invaluable. Okay, we've had another loan. All right, I should reject all loan offer. Leave me alone. Is today's deadline day just going to be me getting annoyed at bids for players that I have no interest in letting go? Apparently it is going to be. Thank God I can just turn on auto reject. Otherwise, this entire segment would just be me turning down offers. 8 hours remaining. No offers. No offers. Maybe I should offer more players out. Kylian Mbappe's been offered to me. Should we just ask the board? Can we have Mbappe, please? Apparently it wouldn't be financially prudent. You know what? I'm kind of inclined to agree that Mbappe probably wouldn't be the best investment for 230 million. Maybe something to aim for in the summer. So apparently there is a bit of interest in Ben Godfrey. Manchester United may be considering an offer. For Luca Dean as well. Milan and Liverpool interested. The weird thing with my squad right now is I don't think there's any position where I'd happily sell a player without having to replace them with like for like. And especially in FM22, when January comes around, player kind of asking prices just rocket up mid-season to the point where it becomes kind of difficult to sign anyone. In my head, it seemed like a great idea to do deadline day. I'm sat here watching it unfold as we're now 7 hours into it with 7 hours remaining, kind of realising that there's a very slim chance that anything happens here. 5 hours left. Not had any bids on anyone. Not even like I've had any potential offers to entertain. There's just nothing happening. Although apparently Liverpool have now decided they're interested in Sesko with 4 hours left. Why do I feel like this is just going to amount to nothing? I'm beginning to realise that this whole idea of a transfer special after I spent 144 million was a bit of a flawed premise. As, there's 1 hour remaining and 45 minutes, and, the transfer window is wrapped up. We were the biggest spenders. We did the biggest deal. The biggest deal of deadline day was Skov going to Atalanta. So, yeah, it wasn't exactly the most interesting of windows. We made the most outs. I talked a little bit about the outs, obviously, that we made that kind of funded us moves. There's a couple of other players who have gone out on loan, players like Florentino Luis, for example. Paul Dummett's gone out on loan. The Stig, remember this guy? Signed him for his name. Yeah, he's on loan at Lille. Apparently his value's really high, and he did actually come on off the bench as a goalkeeper in Liga. I mean, that's a bit weird, isn't it? But you know what? Despite a bit of a weird episode today, I'm not going to stress too much. We've got Yusuf Demir. We've got more quality in this team. I'll let you guys decide. Was sacrificing Barbosa and Almada worth doing to be able to fund this move? I think it probably was. At the same time, it's one of those moves which I think we'll know more about in a couple of months in terms of was it the right thing to do. But the early signs, 2 goals today on his debut, they seem pretty good. Anyway, gang, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. Next time out, we will be back for the Champions League knockout stages. Just as a reminder, we've been drawn against AC Milan. The first leg is coming your way in only a few weeks' time, so get ready for that. It's away at the San Siro. I hope you're excited for it. Let me know what you make of the Yusuf Demir deal. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. And until next time, take care. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.